Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're listening to this, and welcome to the Weebly Comic Podcast, a podcast where every week we will be talking about anime, manga, comic book movies, and the latest entertainment news. I'm Diego, also known as Wrath, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Brennan, the
I
man
guess he
who
died.
has COVID, and I guess he died finally, and
Said
Star
hello. Did
Psycho.
you not hear me?
No, you
No.
bitch!
I said hello.
And Star Psycho, aka Adrian.
What's poppin', y'all? We about to get in this. Yeah,
And he
we
got a
are.
new mic if you haven't noticed.
Yes, sir.
And this week we have a handful of a little bit of news, a lot more news than we did last week. Last week was a struggle, especially without the both of you. I don't know if y'all listened to the last week's episode, but it was
did.
painful. That outro was a son of a bitch.
You were having an abysmal time trying to
Yeah,
make an
dude.
outro.
I'm
sound
so
like-
glad, Brett. Yeah, I'm so glad you're back, Brennan. So we got a
Nice
little
to
bit
know
of
I'm appreciated.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of Attack on Titan news along with it returning, if you weren't aware. As well as a little bit of extra stuff regarding Jujutsu Kaisen's movie and regarding the finale of Fire Force's manga and something to do with I'm not even going to touch on it until we get to it. As always, time codes are in the description, as well as the links to all of our socials, the podcast socials, my YouTube channels, Adrian's socials. You get the point. So to kick it off, why don't we talk about this Among Us thing? Because it's on my brain. It's prevalent. So apparently, Among Us is getting a manga that's starting next week, if I read that correctly, or next
It
month.
just said
Next month,
February. Yeah.
which I don't even have the words. Literally, the only words that I have to describe this is absolute tomfoolery. Because I just why? Like I'm gonna read it, but why?
Right. So
Is
you're
this
gonna
so
read it. You're
big,
gonna
bro?
type about it, and then you're gonna read it.
Because it's not because it's fucking ridiculous. So why would I not read it?
I'm not gonna read it. It's stupid.
Then all I'm here for is the sus jokes. I want to hear.
I'm expecting,
That's
like
kind of sus.
you
That's what I
know
want to hear.
you know how like some accounts that draw the shit draw like like Pink as a cute anime girl and shit like that. I'm expecting something like that.
Oh, no,
I'm
I ain't.
expecting just like full anime Among Us.
Listen, the hentai for Among Us is gonna go crazy after this manga drops. No cap.
I'm dead.
We don't have to imagine red, green, pine, pink anymore. That's crazy.
I'm dead. Okay. um with that, we're gonna move on.
Please do. I don't want to hear this man talk about any more weird shit.
You don't want to
God.
hear about red, green, pine,
Stop.
green.
We're
Adrian.
losing all of our listeners at this
Adrian.
rate.
That's crazy. Listen,
This
I'm just excited to see that. That's all I gotta say.
Adrian, what happened at work today? Why are you on demon time?
A lot of things, pent up aggression.
pent up aggression. All right, moving on. So I can't. Adrian, I hate you.
All right, let's get
Moving
into
on.
this. No, we're going to go to the fucking Attack on Titan episode. I don't care.
Oh,
That
we're
shit
just
was
skipping all the
ass.
news.
Oh, we're going to. Oh, we can do the news then. Fuck it, let's do news.
This,
My fault.
God, we go 1 week. I go 1 week without y'all, and I've lost all. I hate it here. All right.
You're welcome.
So next up, the Jujutsu Kaisen movie apparently is going to
Ooh.
be coming out next month in North America, and I think North Korea.
South
Korea. I was like, why North Korea? Yeah. So I didn't read the post, but I just know that Brennan said in like our group chat that it looks more and more, or it's starting to look like what was the words you used?
So Adrian sent it to us first, and it was like a couple days beforehand, or like a day or two beforehand, saying it could be coming in February. And then I woke up one day and I went on, our account to look at all the news and stuff that's like circulating, and that was one that just was prevalent and just popped up a lot. So it's looking more and more like it's true that we should be getting it in February, which I'm really not surprised about, to be honest. Like I would assume after um Demon Slayer's success, I don't know how well Sword Art Online did, but depending on how well that did, and the My Hero movies and stuff like that, like it just makes sense for them to push it as soon as possible into more of an international release.
Yeah, I was
So,
just surprised how soon it was.
I mean, think we got what was it that we got?
We got Mugen
Well,
Train like I think a few months after, not like a
no,
month.
that was like a year
It
after.
was
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it was a legit
That was
4
due to
years
COVID,
after.
though.
Yeah.
That was partially due to COVID. But I mean,
Imagine delaying the movie by a year when all you have to really do is fucking subtitles.
think about it also.
To like get them all together and all that instead of like them quarantine, having their own studio set up at home, and then doing all
Oh yeah,
that
they
shit.
did dual release it with the dub, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'm roasting
Yes.
Mugen Train's movie for no reason.
Think
Yeah.
about it too, though. The Sword Art Online. I know they're run by Funimation. I think they're owned by Funimation, like that studio. So it, of course, is able to push out movies faster. But I mean, Sword Art Online. Let's be honest, it's still a much lower tier than Jujutsu Kaisen is, in terms of popularity. So I mean, there's no reason that Sword Art would be pushed so fast and Jujutsu Kaisen wouldn't. It just like that's just fumbling a bag.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I mean, it's not even fumbling it because the fans are gonna watch it no matter what. But like,
I'm just
you're
glad
just
that
hindering.
it's like somewhat confirmed that it's actually happening, cuz like last week there was like this post that was going around that was saying that we would have to wait 6 months to see it on Funimation, but
Which I thought that was cat because I was like,
I
there
was
is
like
no
there's
way they're
no
gonna
way.
push this
Yeah.
like as fast as they can when this was like the second highest grossing movie in Japan. I'm like, yeah, that's some cap right there. There's no way they're
Yeah,
not gonna
like
have it international.
there's no fucking way.
Especially how successful Jujutsu Kaisen is as a whole. That's like, no, there's no fucking way.
Yeah. And that's everything, right? Like you don't have anything
So
more to add.
I mean, it's just the announcement of the movie probably coming in February. I feel like
Yeah.
there's not like
Yeah, we'll
an
probably get a
exponential
trailer
amount of stuff to talk
mid-January.
about. Man, I don't want another trailer. I want the movie.
Yeah,
Man, we
look, the
I
last
know, but
trailer
like
they
the
showed way
dub
too
the
much, so I
dub
don't think.
trailer.
Oh, you're right. All
'Cause
right,
that's what they do with Mugen Train.
bro. It look. If you watch the dub of Jujutsu Kaisen, you got
Oh,
issues.
no.
Anyways, moving on. Fire Force's final chapter is being drawn next week, and the release date for it is to be announced. And
And
I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea that Fire Force was like this close to ending.
I didn't think it
to
was
be
ending either. I
to be
Like
honest, I think I might read it.
this is the first I've ever heard about Fire Force ending. Like that just hit me out of nowhere.
No, I heard it was pretty far along. Like it was a decent amount into the story.
Well, how many chapters are
Um,
there?
to be honest, I don't know. Um, all I know is I love the anime. I think the anime was really good, even though a lot of people don't think it's that good.
I'm gonna give it a second chance
I
soon.
definitely like I haven't heard anything about season 3 coming out anytime soon. So I might just read it
Hmm.
because I actually like really enjoy it, but I don't know yet because I
I've
have to
already
find it.
spoiled for not a certain events, so I wanna read it, but at the same time, like, damn, I don't even wanna read it anymore. I mean, after its ending, I don't know, maybe I'll change, but as of now, I'll probably stay as an anime. I'll probably stick to anime only for this one.
You're
I'm
right.
just I'm very curious because apparently, like, Shinra ends up being like mad strong, and Arthur too. So I'm just kind of curious to see what everyone's talking about.
All right. Well, and then the final bit of news before we start talking about anything is apparently what Kakashi's voice actor is now Tanjiro's dad.
We're just gonna say he's a mysterious swordsman.
That's his dad.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking hear that.
We're gonna move on from this because I don't want.
No comment.
All right, whatever. It look, I got two theories.
Listen, I don't mind answering your question. It's just a matter of if you want me to answer your question.
I don't want you to. And
Okay,
the fact
then.
and the
Move
fact
on.
that you're
I'm not
and the
talking
fact that you're
about it.
saying this is making me think that I'm wrong. And anyways, I have two theories. It's either Tanjiro's dad or it's the you know the one guy that has like the 8 eyes. It's either
The
his
one
dad
guy
or
and the one guy and the other one guy with the other
The
one
one
guy.
guy with the
And the one guy
it's
with
the fucking
sword.
demon swordsman with the 8 eyes.
The
That's
second-
not the one
the
guy.
second-
Everybody knows what I'm fucking talking about.
The
Of
one
the
guy with
first
the
moon.
sword and the hair.
All right, I'm cutting this whole fucking part. Fuck the both of you. All right, Demon Slayer episode 13? 14?
I think it's
It was episode 6 of 13.
13. Okay.
Because 7 in Mugen Train and then 6 in Entertainment.
So this is I don't even want either of you to lead on this because like I
You
don't
got it.
really have because like I don't have fucking anything to say. Like the only things that I have to say are, the animation was gorgeous, the fights were insane, Nezuko's a badass, and also why does Nezuko, have mad titties for no reason? Because that's just I think that's weird as hell, but she popped off, so I
Yeah,
like
for some reason she matured in demon form Nezuko.
I don't look. So, honestly, like aside from those things, I don't even really have much to say just because like it was just a very action-packed episode and like aside from commenting on the action, like there's not really anything to talk about in my opinion. I like some people feel otherwise, but I just don't really think there's much to talk about outside of that.
How do you feel about what am I gonna say? Tanjiro going off like that and like
That was
going into this moment.
it was wild, dude. Cause like, she powered up the demon that he's fighting powered up a little bit when she got her like sashes back from the underground that Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tengen were all at. And she went beast mode and she fucking slaughtered so many people. And I thought that scene was so fucking fire. And I don't know whether it was like an after effect of the Hinokami Kagura, I think. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's an after effect of the sun style or he was just so mad that he just popped blood vessels in both of his eyes, but him bleeding fucking blood or crying blood I was like, what the fuck? And then, he went ape shit and was just like fucking Mach speed. That was just a whole I didn't need like that's why I really don't have anything to say is just because like that's like a whole bunch of stuff that like is just wild and I don't know the rhyme or reason as to why that happened. All I know is that it was just super badass and when Tanjiro's pissed, bro, he a demon.
Homie was sending fears that
Just straight
she
up.
didn't even know existed. She said, "Wait a minute, why am
And
I getting memories from these cells?
for
I don't
real.
know who that is."
And the fact that he just almost fucking chopped her head off. Just like I popped off so hard. I didn't even care that he didn't actually do it, but just the fact that he was so close to doing it just blew my mind.
So there's only a few things I want to say. One, appreciate the parallel between Nezuko and Tanjiro because that was beautiful. Two, you will look back on this episode later on and you'll appreciate it so much more.
I'm sure I will once I finally really understand what the hell's going on with the both of them.
Yeah, once the story progress, like it might even be one of those you'll revisit this episode like for the most part when like Demon Slayer's ending,
Hmm.
but like there will be a point where you'll look back on this episode and you'll be like, damn, that's crazy.
Honestly, like this episode, I think this is my favorite episode of the whole series so far. Just because like the action is just so different than what like the only really thing that we've seen of like this level before was, Rengoku versus Akaza. Just like, ape shit fighting, and it was just so good. And the fact that the animation quality was even as good as it was throughout the entire fucking episode was just mind blowing. I love
Quotable,
Ufotable.
they got money.
Uh,
They be
They
spending
got
on that.
they got the Mugen Train racks, bro. They better fucking be animating at this quality. And bro, Nezuko just popping up out of nowhere and just fucking yeeting this bitch's skull off of her head. I popped off so hard. That was the rawest moment ever for Nezuko.
Hey, bro. All I'm gonna say is next episode gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, I mean
All I can say.
that's literally all that I really have to say. And
Honestly, the rest of the season is gonna be insane. Like this was just like the tip of the iceberg.
well, okay, so one thing that I'm gonna give credit where it's due. Um, Jay also mentioned that he doesn't see how that demon's not gonna die next episode because of the fact that like Tanjiro almost murdered this bitch on his own, and like I also don't really see how she's gonna have a chance against Tanjiro, Nezuko, Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tengen. I just don't know if maybe she's got
So
like another power up just sitting in her back pocket, or
this is all I'm gonna say. Keep in mind that the style that Tanjiro was using, if you recall back to like
is the most broken
what
style there is.
yeah, like going back to, him meeting Rengoku's dad and stuff, like that was the OG style. Like
Yeah.
that came before fire breathing. So keep in mind that like you said, that style's kind of broken.
Mm-hmm.
So using it, you know, like as you saw in the episode, I don't know if you caught it, she couldn't regenerate normally
Yeah.
after being cut. So it partially stops them from regenerating.
Oh,
So that and it
just the Hinokami Kagura.
just that style in general. Like that's
Mm.
that's why it is broken. That's why it is known as like the big, that's why he was looking at Tandro like, "Oh, you think you're better than us because you can do that because
I
like,
see.
you know,
Okay.
like that style is unbelievably broken. So
Oh,
like just
oh,
and like that's why it takes a big toll on him
that
when he
happened this
uses it.
episode too, didn't it?
But
Rengoku's dad's got his head out of his ass.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a good moment too. I really like I I like from a what's it called? From like an exposition standpoint, I can understand why it was in there, but like it just didn't feel like it flowed all that well in my personal opinion, but I still appreciated that it was in the episode nonetheless because like you're really left with like, oh yeah, he's such a dick. And like you still kind of feel bad for him because the last time we see him he's crying for Rengoku, but like the fact that he took it upon himself to apologize and was just like, I'm assuming he was about to say that like, he'll teach him all that he knows before, it cut back to Tanjiro. But
it I think it mostly flowed to show the importance of what Tanjiro was like
thinking.
about to do.
Mm,
They're using it to like show the importance of sun breathing
okay.
and like kind of put you to understand that sun breathing is different from the other breathings.
Okay.
pretty much.
That's mostly why they did it, and they did it. I think the reason they did it there was because of Tanjiro popping off and him now using more than just the
Oh,
OG style that they always see. You
and
know, since he used more of it, they wanted to give a brief explanation.
yeah, and like the first minute being, the fight that we see in the last episode, but just without all of Tanjiro's like in his head thinking. That shit
Hmm.
was so clean. Just no fucking dialogue whatsoever, just back to back hits, and then him breathing to get up and all of. Oh, that was just so clean, but easily outshined by the rest of the episode. But I still just really like that they were just like, yeah, let's just give this really nice sequence without Tanjiro fucking it up by talking.
Gotta appreciate the little things, bro.
But do either of you have anything else you want to talk about
We can't talk
regarding this
about
episode?
anything else without
Yeah,
spoiling anything
I'm
same here.
future
saying
on. So
regarding the episode, anything,
that's what I'm saying. Regarding the episode, we
Okay,
literally
you
can't say
fucking manga
anything.
readers. All right. Um,
It's too much, bro. It's too much beauty in one episode, bro.
it was
You don't
such a gorgeous
understand.
episode. But speaking of gorgeous episodes, before we actually talk about Attack on Titan season 4 part 2 episode 1. That's such a
Jesus, bro.
mouthful. Um
Technically, it's episode 76. I
yeah, well, okay, shut the fuck up. But before we start talking about Attack on Titan, I felt that this would kind of fit a little bit better because there is one last piece of news that regards Attack on Titan. And that is that it is officially listed for 12 episodes, and Javen specifically asked me to mention that he has a theory that he had a theory that, there was a rumor that it was only going to be 12 episodes, and his theory was is if that rumor was true, then the rumored Attack on Titan movie would be happening. And now that it's confirmed, Jay couldn't be here, and he'll probably do so much service. He'll probably. What am I trying to say? I'll have him
Spit it
talk
out.
about
Come
it.
on.
I'll have him talk about it whenever he shows up in the future. But he just wanted me to mention it that he's 99% convinced that there is going to be an Attack on Titan movie that will be the finale for the series. And since Brennan, you don't count. Adrian, since you read all of the ending, do you agree with him?
I'm gonna have to say no. I don't agree because of even though this is 12 episodes, how fast paced things like happen in how it's gonna happen in the last season. I don't see this lasting like where we currently are right now in the episode. We'll get into it later. I don't see that lasting for like past 3 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
not even 4. I'd be surprised if it lasts even 5 or 4. So
So you
no,
don't think
I
that
don't.
the movie is going to happen?
No, I just say that because of how fast paced this season's gonna happen. Like a lot of, like there's gonna be a lot of things that even happen next episode, but I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, you better not, fucker.
Nope.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, let's dive into episode 76, which actually I lied. There's another piece of news, but I'm just going to briefly cover it. Apparently people are review bombing this episode, which pisses me off because I don't understand why people do that. Review bombing is like the worst thing in the fucking world in my opinion.
Wait, what are they saying about it?
So I saw this post on Facebook while I was waiting for you to fucking join the call. And apparently there's this one dude who is like a huge One Piece TikToker, and he's asking all of his followers to review bomb Attack on Titan.
Why?
And because of him, apparently over 1,000 people have given a 1-star rating to the new season.
Oh my god!
I,
Fucking
it also irritates me because it's a One Piece fucking person who's having who's having this happen.
Why did he even? Why do you even do this? So cringe, man.
That's what
Like,
I'm saying, bro. And like, for context, Adrian and I both really enjoy One Piece. It's both one of our favorites of all time, and Brennan also really enjoys it. I don't know where it is on his all-time list, but it's just irritating because like there's always like a toxic aspect of every fan base, but it's just so annoying when it's like it's your favorite anime and then the toxic people for your favorite anime just got to be toxic.
Is this?
Especially when it's such a lie because this episode's so fucking good.
I don't know why he hates Attack on Titan that much. God
That's what I'm
damn.
saying. Like, Attack on Titan is like one of the best like series in fiction. And so good that it crashed Crunchyroll for like 4 hours or probably longer actually, because I remember that on the day it came out at like I think like at 4 o'clock, I tried to open Crunchyroll to watch it and it just was not coming up. And then I came back to Crunchyroll at like I think I want to say like 8:30 and it was still down. So I didn't end up watching it until like right before I went to bed. But yeah,
I
just
didn't
Why didn't you just
know.
watch it on Funimation?
I did.
Oh,
I'd never
I,
checked back on it, so it could be longer than, that amount of time for me.
I didn't know when, because I was on my break when I was trying to like watch it, and I was like, "Damn, I can't." Crunchyroll's acting up, and I just thought it was like because there's connection issues, and then I
No,
found
dude,
out it
it's like
crashed.
a
So,
it's like a seasonal thing for every time Attack on Titan comes back, Crunchyroll just fucking shits itself.
because no one can, Crunchyroll
No,
can't handle
no
it.
one. It's either that or just no one realizes that it's on like Funimation and Hulu. But
Probably. I do want to
anyways,
have a message for anyone that did review bomb it. I'm gonna have y'all. I'm gonna have y'all arrested for
bro,
a severe
slander.
case of dick riding.
Dick riding.
Y'all should be arrested immediately. That's my
Bro,
message.
it be like that sometimes. Anyways, Attack on Titan episode 76. The return of greatness. It kicks it off with a beautiful, well, there's some stuff before the opening, but the opening was beautiful. That song, if you like listen to the lyrics, it's fire, bro. And apparently some people have warned me that there's a shit ton of spoilers in that opening.
There's definitely a spoiler in that opening.
I
I
like,
was shook when they showed
dude,
that. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
I'm gonna be honest. I was watching the opening. I wasn't really paying attention to it because like pretty much every fucking anime, there's like some spoilers in the whatchamacallit, in the opening. So I just was just like, yeah, I am just gonna look at this and probably never look at it again.
well,
But
what sucks about Attack on Titan is there's so little left that the things they show are so big and important that it's
well,
like, damn, bro.
not
Like,
even
really?
though, because you could just do last season's first opener or the season before where there was just a bunch of fucking animals running with the Beast Titan in it. Like, you can't fucking pin that. Like, people were like, some people were like, "Oh, is there going to be a dinosaur Titan?" Like, I know that was my thought process. I was like, "Is there a dinosaur Titan? What the fuck?" But none of that actually happened. So you could just
Did they
do
eat some Zoan
stupid shit
fruits?
like that, huh?
I said, did they eat some Zoan fruits?
Yeah, but like they could do some shit like that, just some stuff that has nothing to do with what's going on in the anime. Like it doesn't have to be fucking spoilers, but it be like that sometimes. Anyways, so spoiler warning for Attack on Titan, by the way. If you haven't watched this episode and you're listening to us even talk about it, you're crazy. Go watch it and then come back. So it kicks off almost immediately with, was it the Zeke being built back together? Was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Well, the whole scene of them finding the
Finding
like the
the cart.
the site at which
Yeah.
the previous actions had happened.
I don't remember like the sequence. Cuz I was just so focused on the
Basically,
rest of
Zeke
the
blew up
episode.
the entire cart
No,
right
I'm
in front
saying
of
like I
Levi's
don't
face.
remember what happened first, the Zeke being rebuilt or Hanji finding Levi.
No, Hanji
Hanji.
finding Levi happened
Okay,
first.
so I am sorry. Hanji found Levi, and he's possibly dead. Sorry, not sorry. If if you haven't seen the episode yet and you're still listening, it's your own fault. I want to talk about this first just because I want to, get my thoughts and theories out of the way as we come across them. So, theory number 1 of it's a Wrath original. um I don't think Levi's dead. I think
I mean,
Mans is chilling with 1 HP, like grasping at straws to survive.
the the only reason I could back that is just because I would like to understand why Hanj felt
Hanji.
it was Hanj, whatever. I mean, fast forward, like it'll be fast forwarding, a couple seconds, but why she felt the need to escape with him as opposed to just escape
So
herself.
you're
She
getting
hit
it.
him
Get
like
let me
from. Okay.
fucking talk.
Okay, you got it. You
Thank
got it.
you. So, Brennan, that's like a third of my of the reason why I think that he's still alive. Another reason is, she checked the pulse and she could easily just lie because why would she tell the truth around them? And she also kind of refused to let what's his face check Levi's pulse. But also when Zeke was busting out of the Titan that, saved him, I'm gonna have to rewatch the episode, so I could be wrong. But I swear to God, when she looked at it, Levi like lifted his head up and was also looking over there. Like I said, I could be tripping balls, but I'm pretty sure Levi was also looking over there. So
I feel like
I,
that could have been her like shifting her body weight and
yeah,
like accidentally like kind of lifting him up.
like I
So that's like
said,
one of those
I'm gonna have to
50-50 type
rewatch it
things.
again, but I'm pretty sure he also looked over there. But regardless, I'm pretty sure there's a reason why. Like,
Right, his face was
it
fucked.
fucked, yeah. But
He got busted.
it would have been so much like if he was actually dead. Yes, it sucks to leave behind his corpse, but it would have been so much easier to get away without him. And the fact that like she knows that they're gonna try to kill her if she tries to get away. So why would she put a little bit of extra danger on herself to carry Levi with her, especially when she could just come back for him later. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We've seen people leave behind. I mean, Levi himself threw out that one chick
Yeah.
like out of the cart just so that it could go faster, just because it would help them escape. So, I mean,
That's what
I
I'm
wouldn't
saying.
put it
Like,
behind Hanji to do something similar. And in this case, it would have not been as bad to just leave him behind as opposed to, damn, we're going to use you as bait. Hold up.
yeah. But I don't really have much to say about Zeke aside from I don't really want to spoil anything because I was talking to Jay and he spoiled something for me regarding the Zeke scene, but I'm not gonna say it because yeah. But
Why?
because I don't know if people want to know the things that I now know. You know what I mean?
I mean, we already put the spoiler review, did we not?
You right. Minor spoiler. Skip forward like 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I don't know. Something if you don't want to know. But when I was talking to Javen, he told me that the girl building Zeke back was real.
Yeah.
Now he didn't tell me how because I didn't want to know how, but he just told like I asked him to tell me if it was real because I was like I don't know what the significance of that would be and he was like there is none. It like and then he stopped and I was like, "Well, what do you mean there is none?" And he told me that it was
Adrian, don't say
real.
anything.
Yeah, obviously don't say anything, Adrian.
I'm just
But
gonna keep.
I don't understand why it's real. My brain does not compute. But
Hey, there's some confusing, weird shit in this season.
no, I know. I am but he did say that everything will make sense at the end of the season and I guess that's all that matters. So, moving on, I'm going to need one of y'all to take it cuz I don't remember what happened after that.
So after that, I'm pretty sure it skipped right to where we left off last episode, like episode 75, right? It gets back to the Aaron
Yeah.
getting ready to fight the Marleyans. It shows like the actual scale of their attack. Because I mean, last time I think we only saw like one blimp and then the Titan come up,
Yeah, I think
but this
so.
time we see the entire fleet and just some absolute devastation, bro. So many people died in that scene in like the matter of seconds.
Hey, bro. They all deserved it. It's fine. But
Bro.
yeah, dude, so that scene, I really enjoyed it, along with, like, what's it called? Like, just I don't know if I'm getting too far ahead, but just like the fight between Aaron and the Jaw Titan and Rainer. Like, there was just so much devastation throughout, like, that entire episode, that just, like, I just vibed with it so much. And
Oh yes, murder everyone.
nah, because, like, fuck all those people that died. They were all
True.
fucking traitors.
It's funny because this was the first episode where I really like noticed the CGI.
Yeah.
Like
There's I look, I forgave it because of all of the things that happened in this episode, but that, like, CGI of the Jaw Titan running away from Aaron was really rough.
Aaron walking too. When Aaron was like walking through the town to go confront Reiner,
That wasn't as bad in my opinion, but yeah.
it wasn't as bad, but that was another scene. I mean, other than that though, like when they were fighting and when they showed Reiner like getting his face beaten in, it looked
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It was just those like weird scenes where like it was just super noticeable.
Yeah. They didn't show the whole This is why I hate fucking breaking down an episode, because I don't remember the order of things half the time. At what point did they skip to like Armin and everybody?
It was right when Aaron took the shot from the
Oh yeah, yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
he shot him in the head and then it cut to the dude because he wanted to save Aaron.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit after him and when he was about to freaking wreck
Reiner.
um
And
Reiner and the Jaw
yeah,
Titans
yeah.
like shit.
So I'm gonna hold that, but I have a theory regarding Aaron, but I'm gonna hold that for the end of the episode. But so it skips to a Yonkupan, I think that's how you say his name, like, releasing Armin and everybody, right? And they basically have a conversation, and I think Connie is like, "Why did you betray us?" or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Connie
Connie's way
was
straight to that
Connie
throat.
was pissed.
Connie was on some
That's my
savage mode
boy,
shit,
bro.
bro.
That's my
Like,
boy.
I've always felt kind of indifferent about Connie, I'm not gonna lie, but, like, this episode made me give him hella props.
I love Connie, bro. Connie's the best.
But him and Jean and Armin, like, all pretty much. So, for context, before I say anything, we didn't really, this podcast didn't exist last season, but I never really believed that Aaron was actually evil, I guess would be the word. Just because it don't add up in my brain. It don't. And after them talking about it, and Gene and Connie saying some stuff about like the plan of euthanizing all of them, so all of the Eldians. I worded it so perfectly yesterday, and I can't really remember, but, like, it just doesn't make sense as to why Aaron would go through all of the trouble of protecting everybody in previous seasons if he suddenly just wanted to just say fuck it, and I'm just gonna kill all of us, when I was fighting so hard for protecting everybody and making sure all of us have a future, just to turn around and make sure that nobody has a future. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even, and with this episode with the Yonkupan saying that nobody really knew about the wine. Now, whether Aaron actually knew about the wine having Zeke's blood in it, or spinal fluid in it, or not, um, is yet to be seen. But as of right now, I'm pretty sure that there's two things happening. Aaron probably didn't know about the wine thing, and one thing that I do know for sure is that Aaron is definitely using Zeke. Thoughts?
I
I
mean,
can't say anything.
the only thing for me is like, I don't know. My point, Aaron's fighting for me for freedom.
Yeah.
I, so
But
whether freedom in
euthanizing all
mind
of
with,
them is not really freedom,
but
because
fighting, but like to me, at this point, like fighting for people has left Aaron's head. He's doing what he sees fit. to gain freedom.
Mhm.
So, like whatever his future plan endows, or whatever it whatever it does, whatever it holds. To me, the way I look at it is, I'm not gonna put anything past him, because freedom is what, like, at the end of the day, it's he's fighting for. So if that means him euthanizing people, or if that means him, killing people you would never expect him to kill, or like saying screw protecting, or whatever the case is, like, I personally wouldn't put it past him, just due to the fact that he wants freedom that bad.
I don't know, man. Because now, granted, I will give, in a time skip, though I don't believe that he would change that drastically, anything is liable to happen in a time skip. Um, like I said, I don't believe that drastically to where he'd just go from, like, wanting to protect everybody to just fuck everyone. I'm just gonna, kill us all and just make the world suffer along with us. I don't really believe that that's like him. But anything, like I said, anything's liable to happen in a time skip if I'm wrong, and the reasons for it is just his mindset and his ideals changed over the course of that gap. Then I'll take it. Like, I'll still disagree with it, but like, how am I gonna disagree with man's just deciding otherwise? I don't know if that really makes sense, but I don't see it. But if I'm wrong, I understand. And then after that, it goes back to the fight, right?
Yeah, actually, it
Yeah,
just goes back to the fight.
Yeah, and that's the rest of the episode. Okay.
well, I mean, don't forget, they literally, like, Connie and Jean were completely against, at first, like, saving Aaron. They're like, why should we even think about it? And then Armin is the one who tells them, like, whoa, 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 guys, it's Aaron. Like,
See,
something's not right. And then they realistically, at the end of the day, they gave it to Mikasa and said, listen, we will follow you. And
yeah,
if you want to save him, we'll go save him. If you don't, we won't.
yeah,
And he was worried about what is it, the Ackerman, like, curse that he told her about.
yeah.
Um, and Armin thinks it's a lie.
I agree with him, actually. There's both of these reasons, I'm gonna be honest, are not mine. One of them is a coworker's and another one is also Jay's. But one of them has to do with the fact that Gabby was in the room when that discussion originally happened. And my coworker's theory is that it was all just a front to make Gabby believe that he isn't on the same side as everybody else, to try to like save them should Marley win, as like a contingency plan essentially. And fuck, I don't remember Jay's. Yeah, I don't remember the other one. Yeah, I just don't believe it's true. Oh, the other one is that Levi is also an Ackerman, and I think I think what it was is that like the Ackermans follow whoever has the founding Titans orders or whatever. A-
Mm,
Adrian, do you remember what it was?
It's not that, it's whoever. I'm pretty sure it's whoever Eldian gives them a strong enough order to, like, not command him essentially, but like to release that hidden potential that all Ackermans have.
Mm,
And once that Eldian gives them an order to do so, like how Aaron as a kid like had Mikasa fight as a kid,
yeah.
and
But aren't
she
they
was
supposed to
able.
like, fight for tooth and nail for that person also? Or like be
Yeah,
extremely loyal to them?
yeah, essentially, since they're loyal to the king.
Yeah. So now it depends, but like cuz like you can kind of see it with how Levi was with Erwin, but at the same time, to my knowledge, Levi also didn't always listen to Erwin. So, you could use that parallel. That yeah, sure, Mikasa always listened to Eren and always did what was best for Eren, but she's also in love with him. So, you know, is the Ackerman thing real, or is it just her being in love with him? And with Levi, like I said, Levi didn't really always listen to Erwin. Yes, the whole, Levi wanting to sacrifice Armin to save Erwin is a very good example as to why it could possibly be true. But it's also because, Erwin was really just the only reason that Levi lived at that point. So it's very it's difficult to both disprove and prove it because, there's valid reasons, but those reasons could also be denied because of personal emotions towards that person that they're both loyal to. So, yeah. But I just don't think that it's actually true. And purely just because, like, also in that scene, I feel like if it was true, even if she's aware of it, she wouldn't be able to, like, make her own decision even if she was aware of it, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, I get
Cuz
what
like
you
that's
mean.
not really how brainwashing works or whatever he was trying to say it actually is.
I mean, to be fair, she didn't personally feel like she really made a decision because
Well,
they asked her and she said, "I want to save him, but I don't know if that's the curse or the,
yeah, but that's what I'm
the
saying though, is that
Ackerman blood
like
in me, or
the Ackerman thing could just be like, the personal
placebo."
feelings and like blinded, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, now with the fight, that fight was gas.
Can we
Serious.
appreciate how far Aaron has come with being able to control like his Titan and stuff like that?
Yeah, he be nice with
Yeah,
it. I'm not
bro.
gonna be I'm not gonna hold the cat.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was gonna talk to Elena when she was trying to say, "Do not fight them, hide." And he just looked at her and said, I
Psych,
am only."
bitch.
He said, "Okay, whatever," and just started walking towards Marley.
He said whatever the fuck that means.
Pretty
Who
much.
the fuck
He
is
looked at her.
you talking to?
He said, "Oh, really? That's crazy."
That's
Walking.
crazy. But honestly, that fight, that 2 or 3v1 technically, really really be stressful to be honest, but I'm not that worried. Now, I don't know how to transition into this to be honest, but I have a theory that Aaron is actually not in the body whatsoever. He's actually underground via the Warhammer Titan thing because so once he like is finished running and he finally gets into that like final fight area that they're in currently, Mans doesn't really move beyond that point. So I don't know how the physics of all of that works, obviously,
Well,
from how he
isn't
can get from the
the
nape like through his leg into the ground. I don't know how that would work, but just because of all of the spikes popping up out of the ground, now obviously that could be just the Warhammer can do whatever the hell it wants with its ability, like it doesn't need to originate from the ground. Him being underground would also explain why all of the spikes were also coming out of the ground, you know what I mean?
I mean, wouldn't we have to see where the line for his like
Well,
thing?
that's another thing is that like I think
You
that
know,
that
yeah.
line is a lot thinner than the one for that we were shown for the Warhammer Titan because he was aware of the fact that the only reason he saw it is because of how thick it was. So if he made it slightly thinner to where you would have to actually look for it to find it, I think it would make sense. Especially since, like I said, he didn't really move that much from where he originally started fighting. Like, he
That's
don't.
if that's how that works.
What do you mean?
Because like we only realistically we only saw the War Titan once. Like we only saw it happen once,
Yeah.
and the line was that thick. I'm going off the assumption that like it doesn't matter what you do, no matter what. If you're outside the body, like the line in the cocoon is exactly how that looks.
That's what I'm saying though, is that like I feel like since Aaron is aware of that weakness, he would probably try to make it not as apparent of a weakness.
But that's what I'm saying. That's assuming that you have the ability to do that.
I'm sure you do. There's
But
so
think
much
wouldn't
manipulation
the
that you
girl
could
who
do with
has
your
the
Titan.
Warhammer Titan, but wouldn't the girl with the Warhammer Titan also think of that? Like, oh,
I
I need
don't
to
think
hide this
so.
wire.
Okay, the reason I wouldn't say she did was because like she's not like a war. Like she's not like in the front lines or anything. She's
Yeah,
mostly
she
like the
was just like a last resort kind of thing. So I don't really think she had very much battle experience to where she would be, what's it called? To where she would be concerned about where the cocoon was, especially since we all know that the only way to break that cocoon as of right now is with the Jaw Titan. So I, I think that she A didn't care, B didn't know. You feel
or
me?
just couldn't do it in general. But
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know because they had a lot of like they like praised the Warhammer Titan. So like to me, it made it seem like they got her used to being able to use the abilities at least to where she could protect not only herself but other people in case of an emergency. So
Disagree, but it's okay.
I mean, they prayed, dude. Like I'm just saying, like they had a lot of faith in the
strongest of the
Warhammer Titan.
Titans.
They were happy about
What'd
it,
you say,
and
Adrian?
to me,
They did praise a Warhammer tied to be like one of the strongest.
Yeah, but not her
yeah.
specifically.
But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, if you know you have the strongest Titan, why would you not have her trained to be able to utilize it? Like you
Like I
know you
said,
have this power.
that
It
cocoon
doesn't
is
make sense to do
basically
that.
invincible. So, like, if you have a weakness, but you know that your weakness is only a weakness if there's one, like, uh, one thing that can be used against it, then would you really consider it a weakness? You know what I mean? I
I
don't know if that
mean,
makes sense, but
I don't know what happens when you sever the line, or when you sever the line though.
yeah,
Whatever that body you're controlling is now no longer
but that
useful to
line
you
was
because you can't use
also
it.
made out of what the rest of her skin was made out of, which is just like
But that's
basically
my point.
invincible.
When that line is severed, that body is no longer useful, which means you're just in a cocoon. So you would naturally not want that line to be severed so that you can still fight because yes, it's not broken, but that also means you're stuck in that cocoon until you know you're in a safe place. So it still would make sense that you, because that also means you would want to hide your cocoon body so that in case your body gets messed up or you get too uh like too fatigued, you wouldn't want people to know where your body is, so you can just come right up and just kind of dip out. So either way, no matter what, hiding that line is like crucial, whether it be so that you can still control your big titan
That's what
or
I'm
you can
saying.
remain hidden
Is that
underground.
it's hidden.
But what I'm saying is if it was possible to stay hidden like that, that Warhammer Titan that he fought beforehand should have known also to make the line thinner or to hide the line better.
Agreed to
So to
disagree.
me, that to me would make it like, maybe it's not like you don't get to choose how thick that line is. It's just like it's there.
Agreed to disagree. We'll find out in fucking on
We'll
Sunday.
find out next episode. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I already know the
like
answer at
another
least.
reason why I think that he's in a cocoon underground is because we see Rainer shown, but after a certain point we really don't see Aaron be shown anymore. So I think that there's a reason as to why we don't really get to see Aaron's, face, just his Titan, which
I
would
mean,
was had brains fucking flopping out of it several
I
times.
mean, I'm with you. I think he left the nape. I just think when he leaned on the house, like that second shot after that hit him,
Hmm.
I think if anything, that's when he did it. Like when he noticed, like, oh shit, I can't move like I can't move my body anymore.
Hmm.
Like they cut off all that like nervous system stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's when he would have done the transition. Because then that would have like, let's say, you can't control the line. Him leaning on the house and his body could cover the line to where they couldn't see. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it would give him the cover he would need to leave and dip out to where they can't do anything.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think he was fighting outside of his nape. But when he was like, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble," or like, "Oh dang, they cut off like my moving ability," then he was like, "All right, time to dip."
I see. I see. All right. Well, uh, that's pretty much. So the episode leaves off with that. Pretty much is just him and Rainer in like a very close quarters situation with Aaron not having much of a head. Um, I don't know if either of you watched the preview for the next episode, but I did because I'm fiending for the next episode. So if you skipped that, I guess spoilers, but I really want to talk about it because I have another theory regarding Armin, and I want to talk about it because fuck it. But
King.
so did you watch the preview for the next episode, Adrian?
I did, but I don't remember exactly what happened or what the preview showed.
All
So
that
I know
all
what happened.
I
So.
don't really remember most of the scenes, but I do remember one of the only scene that really fucking matters because apparently it's such an iconic manga panel for the it's of I keep forgetting her name. The blonde-haired chick?
Historia.
No.
Amy?
No. The chick who was talking to Aaron in the beginning
Yo,
of
Yelena.
Yelena, yeah.
Oh!
yeah, her
At least-
standing with her arms out and all four of the blimps on fire.
Yeah, I already know.
I
how
saw
that's-
that and busted a nut. But I
didn't-
have a
I didn't
theory as
realize
to
how
why
that-
that's happening.
Let's hear your theory, because
So it's pretty basic. It's not anything special. So we all know how basically at the end of that whole conversation, we pretty much are left to assume that they agreed to fight for Aaron so he doesn't, fucking die. So basically, I don't know how it's going to happen and how Armin's going to get all the way over there, but basically, since Armin's a walking nuke, having the Colossal Titan and everything like the king that he is, my theory is just that he's going to go Colossal Titan fucking fuck up everybody. And that's the reason why all four of those blimps are on fire. Because in my monkey brain, it doesn't really make sense for them to shoot thunder spears at them because thunder spears have a very limited range and them bitches are hundreds of feet in the fucking air. So one of them being on fire from a thunder spear, sure, whatever, lucky shot. All four of them though, no, not for a fucking second. But something that can light all four of them on fire with ease is the superheated Colossal Titan with, fucking heat levels of the goddamn sun. I just think it's that simple. It's just that he pops the Colossal Titan to try to help out a little bit since, that city's already fucked up as is, so what the hell? Why not? And yeah, all the four of the blimps just catch on fire from the what's it called? From the heat, and Yelena's just reveling in the fact that, Aaron's not gonna die because the god tier scouts showed up to save him.
interesting theory. Interesting. That's all I can say.
Cause honestly, unless there's another group of people who were just waiting until now to change sides or something crazy, it's really the only thing that makes sense to my
Hey, bruh.
brain.
You already know Phase Gabby, bruh.
Face Gabby.
Gonna hit the 360 Molotov.
I'm dead. But yeah,
I will say this episode surprised me of how it ended because I thought it was going to end a different way or
Mhm.
end at a different point for where it actually ended in this episode. But we will see a lot more events happen in this.
all I know is
So you'll find out your answer very next
I'm
episode.
so hyped for the next episode because, when everybody was talking about season 4 part 2, that was one of the main manga panels that would pop up. And I think that manga panel's raw as fuck. And the fact that it's happening the very next episode, it makes me so hype. But anyways, we're done with the anime section. Such a great way to leave it off with the fire ass episode that was Attack on Titan. But moving on, if you've been listening for the past 2 podcasts, the Book of Boba Fett started 2 weeks ago, and we have neglected to talk about it because the first week none of us saw it at that point. Second week it was just Jay and I, and neither of us bothered to watch either episode. And now finally these 2 clowns have returned, the Star Wars fans that they are, and they have both watched all 3 episodes. I've only watched the first one. So I'm just going to let them give a 3 episode review and pretty much try to convince me to continue watching because I'm not that big into Star Wars. I don't really care about Boba Fett. Hate me. It's fine. But anyways,
You're not
without
gonna want to
further
watch it then, to be
ado,
honest.
Okay, so will admit the first 2 episodes are kind of I don't want to say boring, but are just kind of slow. Like they're very slow paced, just because of like how they're doing stuff. Like they're going through how Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc pit, and then they're just going through his backstory before he met Mando and all of them. So we're not really seeing what he's doing in the present time to maintain order after taking over Jabba's palace now. Because that's literally what the story is about. So, but it's mostly focusing on his flashbacks, or it was, until now episode 3 comes along. And even though I don't think you're going to stop with the flashbacks is actually getting more interesting. We're not just going to see him just be some honorary member of the Tusken Raiders that just was a slave at first, but then got their respects and just became a Tusken Raider himself. And after episode 3, I'm more interested to see what he has to do after what has happened to the Raiders village, and also now in the present events of the where he is, like what he's doing now. It seems a lot of people are very misleading or untrustworthy, and he has to find out what is happening. Now, there's a potential of people I will want to see, but I don't think I will see. One of them is being Maul. If Maul is in this, I will be creaming, like high key creaming in my pants, because since I do think Maul has a possibility of showing in this is because he has connection to the Pikes, and the Pikes are in this series heavily. They are very involved from what we've seen from the past 2 episodes. And even though he's not a member of the Pikes, he is a part of member of the Crimson Dawn, and the Crimson Dawns are literally like they have a shaky relationship with the Pikes. So maybe if the Pikes are desperate, they can go to Crimson Dawn and Maul and all of
Okay,
them.
but would this be like a flashback type of
No,
appearance?
it would not. I don't think it would be a flashback. I think it would most likely just be like a present time. But I don't. I just don't know if Maul will help him. I just would like a cameo of Maul, because I am to be honest. I don't want Maul to be bested by Boba and his crew. I really don't want to see my boy Maul go out like that. So
Not again.
I just don't, even because he's like one of my favorite Siths. But anywho, another person I kind of want to see, but I don't think we will, is Cad Bane. Is because I don't think it's even confirmed like Cad Bane died, because even though in like the Clone Wars deleted scenes we see him fight Boba as a kid, and they like scrap a bit, and Bane dies like that. But we know Cad Bane is in Bad Batch, and we don't know that he's also fought Finnick too. So I don't know. Maybe Cad Bane might come again and try to bite Boba in the ass for one last time. I don't know. We'll have to see. But other than that, I will say season 3, not season, episode 3 is picking up. So I'm actually now very interested more than I've ever been for this series. So
Now, I will both agree and disagree with Adrian. So the show definitely, and I've noticed this happens with a lot of the Star Wars shows. I think, in my personal opinion, they move kind of slow. Like they really want to make sure they build, the story and like get you an understanding of things, which I'm not against. It's just like for a lot of people who aren't into the lore and aren't into, Star Wars that much, I think that's where they struggle. I think that's where like Diego would struggle watching this. However, I enjoyed the flashbacks a lot because one, it shows how he gets out of the pit and like what he goes through in order to get to where he's at. But it also shows you like they gave character and actual like reason to the Tusken Raiders, because in the movies, for the most part, you just see them as a bunch of savage sand people that kill Anakin's mom and like use her as a slave and stuff. So you just that's what you think about them. They're just savages that do a bunch of messed up stuff in the desert, and now you actually see like they're a whole, they're a tribe. They're still people, and they do still have feelings, and like while their ways are different, they're still not, obviously not people, but they're still people. They are a civilization, which I think that's really cool to see that aspect of them, and kind of have them have some life to them. And then, like he said in episode 3, it's really picking up now in the present time because it's kind of telling you what happened to him while also showing you what he has to do in order to gain respect as the crime boss. Right now, he's the crime boss, but he's not getting the respect of a crime boss. So now he has to continuously deal with these things that kind of undermine him and handle them in a way to show people like I'm not messing around. One of my favorite scenes was when the dude who like sells water comes and asks him for help because he's like, "Oh, these people have been, stealing my water and they haven't paid what they're supposed to pay." And he goes to them and he kind of sees that like they're like there's no work for us to even work. We can't pay the high wage and stuff like that. So he invites them to work for him and the dude comes out. He's like, "No, you're not supposed to like essentially reward them." He's like, "They owe me like 15,000 or 1,500 credits," and he gives the dude 500, and he's like, "Lower your prices. Like, consider this like, here's 500. Their debt's paid, and lower your prices." Like, Boba Fett has like this side of him that even though he was a bounty hunter and like for the most part you usually would see him as like some merciless person, he also has like a caring side. And they show that through the Tusken Raiders, and they also show that through what he does as the crime boss, because now he's not trying to just run everything. He's trying to kind of make it civil again. He doesn't want to torture any like past workers or people who claim loyalty to Jabba the Hutt or anything like that. So I don't know. It gives like unique perspectives on characters you assumed were just like kind of savages, and that's what I like about it.
I will say a lot of their reputation was ruined due to films, and it doesn't help the very first Star Wars film. They beat the fuck out of Luke,
Mm-hmm.
and they just all around. You never really see them, and like cinema media, they just are just made out to be like ruthless uh savages that just in the sand just don't give a shit about anyone. And it's good to actually see that culture. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of me just felt the it was like I was more interested with what Boba's gonna do now instead of the flashbacks. Like I
Yeah.
think later on I will appreciate the flashbacks, and I think I'm gonna do it so now after like the events of what happened in episode 3. It's just at the time I was like, damn, I just want to know how Boba's gonna actually run this crime boss because running Jabba's like territory in Tatooine isn't really a small joke, and we see that in episode 2 that other Hutts, like the twins, will try to fuck him over, and even in episode 3 they tried to again, but they realized, nah, it's not worth it. Fuck this place.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're also seeing the Pikes being involved, and I'm not gonna say the Pikes are the most interesting, complex group of Star Wars because they're really not. They're just a minimal crime organization that's kind of just involved in like a little bit of the Clone Wars and other like small Star Wars media, like Clone Wars, a little bit into the Rebels, Empire, stuff like that. I'm just very intrigued of what their role is going to be in this story.
Fun fact: I believe there was actually a Tusken Raider Jedi. At one point,
There is,
I believe. I think so.
there was. I
Kind
really
of
don't.
lit.
As I said, sounds uninteresting. Not into Star Wars, so I apologize. But
No, you don't.
shut the fuck up.
Don't lie to our viewers.
Listen, bro. I'm just trying to be peaceful, okay?
Now we gotta be controversial.
You right.
One Piece is ass.
Shoes.
Naruto sucks. Boruto's better.
Bruh.
Okay, let's not get too crazy now.
All right, well, speaking of I don't even there's nothing to that there's no good transition for this. But last week there was some there was an artist who pretty much just
Work.
did like a call it? Like a some concept art of Tom Holland in a symbiote suit.
Well, he worked for No Way Home, I think, too. He was an artist for No Way Home, I believe.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. So there was some concept art of Tom Holland in the symbiote suit, and personally, I think it looks fire. If it actually ends up looking like that, whenever he does encounter Venom and get the symbiote suit, I think that would be an amazing design for him. What do y'all think?
It's a very cool design. I really like how it looks, and especially like because it looks like it is like essentially inside of his body instead of just how no hate to the same Raimi feels that it just kind of just looks like it's just slapped on top of him. So like it just one looks like it is legit a symbiote that is merged inside of his body, which to recreate the scenes in the comics of him ripping it out will feel it feels like it's gonna be more painful than what Tobey Maguire had to do.
Yeah, because it's kind of like how with Tom Hardy, like it's on top of his skin pretty much. I think it looks
Essentially, it's
fire.
just yeah. It looks really dope though. So I'm if that's the design they go for, I'm not complaining. I would be very happy.
I like it. I think it's cool and realistic.
Yeah, very realistic.
Just love the smoothness of like the cartoon and like comic version of the like slick smooth black instead of those like white like veins
Yeah,
moving around. Not moving around, but like being apparent on his body. That's the only parts that I'm like I could do without. Not that it makes it bad. Like it's a cool design, but I'd love to see that design but smoothed out to look like not see all the like veiny. I don't even know if it's supposed to be veins, but like you know what I'm talking about. Those like
yeah.
streaks of
Those random like streaks of white.
throughout. But that's speaking from someone who's used to the like slick, smooth black look.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'd be very interested to see it in the movies and just see him swinging around at night looking like that and like pulls up on, you know, a bank robber or something and just completely wrecks homie shit like in that suit. You know, maybe see him do a little dance, you know, a little cringeworthiness. Shout out to Toby Maguire.
no, no,
I need to see the
hard
little arm
pass,
circles with the hip thrust.
hard pass.
Nah, bro, we
McGuire
need it.
makes his appearance. Bully Holland, brother.
Emo McGuire, emo
I'm
Holland.
emoting.
I
I'm
think we need
what
it.
is it called? Omitting all of this. Moving on. So we were all three of us were talking. More me and Brennan, because fuck Adrian. But
Okay, fuck.
all three of us were have a an idea for like a new segment. There's no name for it, but it's pretty much just instead of focusing on like, you know, the latest news, we would just kind of talk about the stuff that we've been watching for the week, new things that we've gotten into, things that have caught our attention, stuff like
It
that.
can be called What is Weebly Weedin'?
Yo.
I don't know how I
That's
feel about
cringe as fuck. That's cringe as fuck, but I love it. I'm writing that down.
So weebly.
What is Weebly Weedin'? Yo, that's fucking fire. I hate it. You heard it here first, guys.
Well, that's the name of it.
That's the name of it, bro. All right, so Brennan, since you're the one who actually wanted to do this the most, I'll let you start it off. One thing that I do want to kind of do is I want to kind of keep it to like 10 minutes each if we have
Okay.
to talk that much about whatever we're reading. Just so it's like a 30-minute segment, you know, so we're not doing a whole other podcast just talking about the shit that we've been.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, continue.
All right. So, you know, your boy reads the typical stuff, you know. Of course I'd be reading you know, Black Clover, and Jujutsu Kaisen. The two other ones I would say that are on Shonen Jump that I don't think a lot of people are talking about enough, or maybe just the places that I follow don't talk about it enough, is Ayashimon. I'm personally very much enjoying reading that. I think it's gonna be very, very good, as well as Dororon. I probably butchered that pronouncing, but that's
Did the new
also
chapter for Yashimon come out this week?
no. It was on a 2 week break.
Ah, okay.
Like a the rest of Shonen Jump.
Yeah. So those two are the ones on Shonen Jump that I've been reading. I'm not gonna go over what they're about, but basically, like Yashimon is sick. That one definitely, like, if you choose one of the two to read that one, in my personal opinion. But both of them are very entertaining, have very interesting ways of going about everything. Thoroughly enjoying those, as well as I just started reading yesterday, and I'm already on chapter 80.
Oh my
3,
god.
Solo Leveling, absolute gas. It's colored. So it's kind of like watching the anime in still frames. That's sick. I think Adrian said it's a Korean manga.
Yeah.
It's dude, like I personally kept seeing a bunch of stuff about Solo Leveling and stuff like that. Like since I follow so many anime things, and since I control the Weebly Comic Podcast Instagram, and I'm always looking through it,
Yeah.
I would see a lot of stuff about Solo Leveling and how people were like hyping it up and stuff. So that's why I got very curious, and I started to read it, and bro, it deserves it. It's definitely fire. Like there's some cool shit that happens in here. It's like an isekai without being an isekai. Like it's really weird. And then other than that, right now I have things I want to start reading. Like I think I'm gonna pick up Chainsaw Man, but I'm also reading, of course, Tokyo's Revengers, and that right now seems to be in the in the process of building up to the end. So I'm getting scared because I feel like it might end soon. But
You've been busy as
it's
hell this
fire,
week.
bro.
I mean, then again, you're not working, so I guess it makes sense.
And then I've been watching One Piece too.
Yeah, but you fucking slammed through some Solo Leveling because I remember you started reading it literally like this time yesterday.
I started reading at 9 o'clock at night yesterday. I stayed up till like 4 in the morning reading.
That's
Damn.
wild. This man is speed running Solo Leveling.
I'm finna speed run Chainsaw Man too.
Yeah, you
Listen,
might get that. You might get to pass that in one day. To
that
be
for
honest.
real. Because
I could.
once you start Chainsaw Man, bro, it's gonna be hard as fuck to stop. Like I had to force myself to stop after I hit like chapter
I'll
I think like
be
40.
How fast
I'll
paced
be
it is.
reading it in one of my days off since I go back to work on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Unless I like finish between tonight and like halfway through tomorrow, unless I finish Solo Leveling,
Mhm.
which I probably will, to be honest, because I only have like I think 110 more chapters to go.
Word.
But depending on how many pages it has, like think I've sped run through Bleach. I read 100 chapters in a day, and for Bleach too, and I was forced to stop.
This man is fucking insane. Yeah, now and you're reading is that you're reading that on like a website, right?
Yeah, actually, Adrian, you know the website you sent me Tokyo's Revengers on?
Yeah, I do.
Well, nice talking to you. Okay.
No, I thought I said, but it just didn't pick up. I guess.
Yeah, no. But yeah, it's on there. So if you want to read it, Adrian, it's on there. Just search it. It's
True.
fire. I think it's called Manga Life or something like that.
Manga for life.
Mm-hmm.
I love how last week we talked about pirating and complained about it a little bit just for this episode to talk about pirating and give people the plug.
To be fair, I don't
Well,
know.
I don't know where else to
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
like
think it is
read
on
it.
anything else. I look like I know that I pirate Tokyo Revengers, sue me, but it's not on anything
To
like
be
I said
fair,
last
I'm
week.
gonna
So
buy as soon as
as soon as that
America gets.
omnibus comes out, bro.
Yeah, I'm buying it. So I mean, I'll pirate it now just because that's the only means of reading it I have.
Yeah. How far did you get in One Piece?
I'm on episode 760 something right now.
Are you done with I never remember what that arc is called, Adrian.
No, I'm still
So,
in the beginning of that arc.
Is it what is it?
so
Yeah, Zo.
No, I'm still on, so
That arc is fire, bro. Like
it's
it's
alright
so
so far.
short, but it's so good. It does a lot for like literally it does a lot of setting up for Wano. I'll say that.
Bro, ever since we met Kinemo,
Mhm.
it's been setting up for Wano.
Yeah.
for sure, 100%.
Because
But
like it's been nothing but nonstop Wano and
Zo is
samurai. And now
like it gives you the whole like it gives you basically everything that will happen in Wano in the palm of your hand, pretty much.
yeah, I mean Kaido has been big lately too, since
Yo,
the Jack dude went and attacked Zo for Kaido, looking for a Wano samurai.
yeah,
So it's it's torturous too. Me like seeing certain things that have happened in Wano and stuff, and wanting to just hurry up and be at Wano to know that as soon as I finish this arc, I have to watch through one of the longest arcs in One
I'm
Piece.
telling you, dude, it really is just worth it to just read Whole Cake because You remember, bro, when I was watching Whole Cake, I just I couldn't be bothered. I was skipping episodes constantly, and then I just read it. I read it from beginning to end within like a day and a half.
I
Yes, I
might
remember those days.
read
Just
Whole
because the
Cake
pacing
only.
for Whole Cake in the manga is so much better.
Well, that's the only reason I'm thinking about doing it now is I don't have the luxury of dubbed episodes anymore.
Yeah.
So like if it's not interesting, I can't get on my phone and just be like kind of listening to what they're saying.
Yeah.
So that sucks. I think that's one reason why at like, before I got on Funimation, I was taking so long to continuously watch One Piece because I could only manage to watch through like a handful of episodes at a time.
Yeah, but that's also
Since
because you started with Bleach and Bleach grabbed your attention so much quicker. So
well, no, it's not. But like, even when I did was like, okay, I want to watch One Piece today. Like, I could only really manage to sit through watching a couple episodes before I was like, okay, that's enough.
true.
And it's because like I feel like I have to always be constantly paying attention with One Piece so that I don't miss anything that could or could not be important.
Yeah.
Like I said, like the Drake being on the island with Dofi and Dofi killing his dad and you finding that out later on in Dressrosa. Like I don't think I would have paid attention and even like
Caught
really
that.
looked at it like that.
Yeah.
If I was watching it in dubbed because I would have been focused on so many other things.
True.
So that's where I might have to just read at least up until Wano and then maybe try watching Wano to see if I can sit through it a little more. But
Honestly, I think watching the first few episodes, yeah. So watching up until I want to say honestly watching all of Wano is probably worth it, to be honest. There's some slow bits of Wano, but I think that watching it is definitely worth it.
Yeah, I'll say so too. Just because like how
Cuz
good the
there's
anime is,
the the anime is so good.
it's just amazing.
Like the only reason why I'm not like going back and watching Wano now is just because like I've watched up to the point where the whole thing with Kaido happens. Spoiler alert. And I'm just waiting until that finishes and is animated to go back and watch all of it because I just want to watch all of those fights just back to back to back because it's
yeah,
greatness.
I just like I'm excited to see because I know like I've seen stuff about Wano, so I know somehow Kid ends up in Wano.
Mhm.
But I also know Kid is trying to go after Shanks, and I'm curious to see what Luffy does when he learns that Kid wants to go after Shanks, because obviously Luffy's like while he's his own man, I think he would draw the line at someone attacking Shanks, or like if Shanks asked him to like help him with something, that's one person that Luffy would definitely like ask no questions. I mean, Luffy's not the person to ask questions anyways. Like he'll
Yeah.
help out any of his friends, but like Shanks is the one dude that like Luffy could be in the middle of fighting Kaido, and if Shanks was like, "Luffy, I need you," Luffy would be like, "Yo, fuck Kaido." So like, I think that'll be something interesting to see how he reacts to that if he ever finds that out, and also to just see Kid go after Shanks. It's like, bruh, you asking for a whole problem.
For real.
But like, I just want to know why Kid want to also fight Shanks so bad, bro.
Because
Um
he's like one of the strongest.
so is that everything that you've watched this week?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, I've been rewatching Black Clover, but that ain't new.
So this week I have now finished watching Comey Can't Communicate first season,
Finally.
and it is it's really good. I
I
underestimated it
have
because I
been
didn't think.
saying this since the first fucking episode, Adrian.
Listen, this wasn't something I watched. I didn't like. I usually don't go for school animes because like I don't have that relatability anymore, or at least I don't feel like I have that. Oh, high school, yay type of feel. But it's not that. It's not bad. Like it's pretty dope. Now, I watch another series, and it's called Jobless Reincarnation.
Oh my god.
And although I will admit it has a good story, the main character is A little
Sus
bit
as
sus.
hell.
Very sus. And what I mean by this is, well, he's a 30. I'm gonna just give it the props. He's a 30-something-year-old man, and he dies. All right, he's a bum. He's a loser. Yada yada yada. You get it. Every isekai anime, bummy ass, ugly dude dies and gets reincarnated. Except this one, he gets reincarnated and he has to start all over as a kid. So he's literally born a baby. He has to learn the language of the land and then learn how to walk and do all these other things. But he still has the mentality of that 30-year-old dude that he was before he got reincarnated. And I'm just gonna say it, the first offense this man did, he started feeling up on a redheaded girl
Was like
while she's
12.
sleeping. Now, yes, I was gonna get to that. It's bad enough she's feeling up on her while she's sleeping. It's a girl that's 12 years old. He is 10, by the way, but
That makes
like
him 40 if you
physically,
do the math.
like physically, he is a 10-year-old boy, but mentally he is 40, 30. You get the gist. And it's just it's kind of weird. They don't touch up on it, and it's kind of pointless once you think about it. I mean, it's always pointless. And other things he does is he borderlines almost has sex with her, and I'm like, yo, these are children.
Spoiler
These
alert,
are
my coworker who read like up to I think it's still going. I don't know. Anyways, he's read all like pretty much all of it and they do end up having sex at some point while they're still children. So,
what
yeah.
the fuck? Yeah,
That's why I'm like I'm still going to check it out because I feel like I should for the culture, but
it's a good and
once I get to like that sus point, nope. Goodbye.
it's like it's a good. It could be a so much more if it just cut the weird shit out, man. It could be so much better, and I hate that it's just there. Like the animation in the series and the story where it going is so good, but it's just this shit just is like it's so cringeworthy. It's like no, why is this there? Like it doesn't further the plot in any shape or form. It's just oh there. It's like an etchy anime. I'm like, no, we can't have children like borderline fucking. I don't want to see this shit. So, anyways, more to fucked up series, Berserk. I
Well,
am
did you
now going
drop
back.
it though? Is
No, just because I finished the first season, I do plan on watching the
this
second season.
fucking
So
man.
I hate it, but I like it.
I'm dead. All right, Berserk.
And yeah, so Berserk. Now I am past the Black Swordsman arc, and I am in the Golden Age arc. The reason I am now finally getting into Berserk is because one of my friends recently have gotten me the volume for the first volume of Berserk. I did plan on reading Berserk sometime soon, but now I feel like I have to because I got the volume, and I read the 9 chapters, and it's a really good series. I just didn't want to read it again, or not again. I didn't want to go forth with the Golden Age arc is because I feel like I have seen the story so many times and repeated again and again. And it's not even a bad like arc. It is probably one of Berserk's best arc. But I've seen it so many times that I know the story, like the story of the Golden Age arc, like almost at the back of my hand. But am I gonna read it? Yes, because I know the manga cut shit out, or the anime has cut shit out from what the Golden Age actually has. So I will be interested to see what else I've missed while watching the anime compared to like reading a manga.
Interesting.
It's a good read though. I will recommend it. Also, by the way, fun fact: Komi Can't Communicate has almost no, it has over 300 chapters.
Yeah.
I did not know that until
I'm
today.
I'm really debating reading it. You know how like, there's some slice of lives that have been going on forever, like Rent a Girlfriend and stuff like
That's
that.
so cool.
And like apparently Rent a Girlfriend is like getting trash now, but I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Comey Can't Communicate despite how fucking long it is now. So
Yeah, it has 336 chapters after 8 hours ago.
yeah, so I think I'm gonna start reading it soon, to be honest. Like I think after season 2 comes out, I'm gonna start reading it. So have you watched anything else or read anything else?
That is everything else that I've read and watched, other than rereading Chainsaw Man, which is a good one, and I want to reread the colored version, but I don't want to reread Chainsaw Man twice in a row
Yeah.
when I have Berserk to watch or read, and I know Berserk is really good, and I really should get into it. So I'm just calm down with my Chainsaw Man urges and grind out Berserk for however long it's gonna take me. I know it's gonna be a while till I actually get done with this.
All right. Well, for me, um I've been busy this week. So, as we all know, the new season started up this week, and I have watched pretty much the first episode of everything. And I'm kind of proud of myself for it because this is the first season where I've actually been able to watch all of the shows that have at least somewhat interested me. There are a handful of anime that I'm just not going to watch, like the slice of life ones. But um surprisingly, there's not really, you know how like every season there's like a gem or like a
Yeah,
yeah, like, one that just doesn't get very much recognition but it should.
Reign of Kings. I'll say that.
Garbage. No, I'm kidding. I haven't watched it.
Oh,
Um
pain.
I got you though. So I guess there's one. It's called Rust Eater Bisco or Sabuki Bisco. Obviously, it's the first episode, so things are subject to change. But that is possibly going to be one of like the best anime this season, aside from obviously Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer, and also there's one other. Oh yeah, My Dress Up Darling. Literally, aside from these two, there are a handful that I do enjoy, don't get me wrong. Like there's one that's like about a development department. It's pretty funny. And literally aside from that, everything else is all right, I guess. But yeah, so aside from these two, the season's pretty middling, to be honest. The comedy ones are funny as they should be. Nothing above like a 7 out of 10 basically. Besides My Dress Up Darling and Rusty Drabisco. Aside from watching the first episode of every single anime, I've also been watching more Hunter x Hunter because unlike everybody else on the planet, it feels like I haven't watched Hunter in its complete or in its entirety yet. And this last week I've watched I think like 20 episodes. I'm pretty much blazing through the Phantom Troop arc, which is fire. Karapika's the goat. And this is a conversation for another day, but I feel indifferent about Hunter x Hunter, but the Phantom Troop arc is definitely bringing up my opinion about it. I refuse to expand on it otherwise because there is a whole bunch of conversation that could be had in the future.
We'll say one of the best arcs in it.
Yeah,
We'll say that.
but the Phantom Troop arc is gorgeous. Honestly, because of this arc, I think Karapika might be like my top 5 characters ever because I
Ever.
just, yeah, I love Karapika so much. Just like the whole, just everything that has to do with his chains and like the stuff that he's like, his, what is it called? The rule that he put on himself for some of like 2 out of the 5 chains. I just think that like level of dedication is just absolute like savagery. And that fight between him and Uvogin where it was a really good fight. Like definitely the best fight of the series up to this point and probably one of my favorite fights out of everything that I've seen. And aside from watching more Hunter, been keeping up that grind with Bleach. Um, I'm currently getting the backstory to all of those like you remember before the Arrancar arc, those what is it called? Not those like X Soul Reapers who also can do holification.
Oh,
I'm reading through their
why did I say
backstory.
bounce? Oh God, I said bounce. Why did I say that? They're not a wrong card. They are.
They're like the masked or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
know what she's saying.
Yeah.
Hold on, I can pull up their name in like
Y-
Wizards or whatever.
Misers, yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading
Yeah.
their backstory right now, and the fact that they were once Soul Reapers doesn't really surprise me, but I'm more curious as to why they stopped being Soul Reapers more than anything. But I think that we're like the fact that like we get backstory for them, and even like 100 years before anything even happens with Ichigo. I think that's pretty cool that Tite did that. And I'm a sucker for lore and backstory, so I'm eating it up right now. But yeah, Bleach is fire. I can't believe that it's taken me this long to like pay attention to Bleach.
Wait till you get to the 1,000-year blood war arc, boy.
Hey, bro, I'm on the come up.
You still have a whole other arc to read through too.
He does.
Just one? That's wild.
It's not the best arc.
It'd be like that.
I just say that it's because like mostly it's placement and like it's literally going through like beginning of Bleach again a little bit.
Honestly, that's like it. It's just watching every episode or watching the first episode of every anime to like prep for the video that Jay and I are doing in 2 weeks, and just watching some Hunter and reading Bleach. It's really all that I've done, aside from playing video games, but that's not the point of this podcast. But with that being said, let's get with that outro, bro.
All right, y'all. It was nice to be back this week. I was upset I missed last week because, I came back home on time in order to participate, but they had already filmed the episode. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Hey, it's not my fault.
Anyways, unlike Diego, I'm actually kind of decent at the outros. I hope y'all enjoyed listening. I hope you guys had a wonderful night, evening, morning, whenever you're listening to this. As always, the links are in the description. If you want to follow our socials, if you would like to check out Diego's gaming/Nintendo channel, and if you would like to check out Adrian's stream that he doesn't stream on,
I'm dead.
I'm getting there.
You've been saying that for literally like a month,
We'll get there.
bro.
also, Diego does stream on Twitch.
I do
So
more
if you
often
would
than
like,
Adrian.
Nah, that's a crazy
possibly.
one.
But anyways, if you guys have anything you'd like us to talk about or any recommendations you have, please head on over to our Instagram or our YouTube channel. Give
Actually,
us a shout. Let us know.
I'm pretty sure there's like I don't know. Look, I don't know anything about podcasting, but I'm pretty sure that they could like email us some suggestions or whatever too.
That works too if you want to email us some suggestions.
Also,
Anything,
leave
any way
some
you want to communicate us.
reviews.
That too.
Leave us a
I'm down to
5-star
listen.
review, and we'll give you a hug. How about that?
To be
I'll
honest,
give you a kiss. I'll do you one better.
you know what? Share our podcast too. Send it to your friends. Let them know that we the best.
Yeah, tell
We the
them
best.
that
DJ
we're
Khaled,
better
what
than
up?
Gigax podcast.
Dang, that's crazy. I don't even know who that is. That's how crazy that
I
is.
don't know either.
Excuse these fucking degenerates. All right, keep wrapping it up.
What you talking about? We're better than them. I don't know the competition, bro. You know why? Because the competition's irrelevant.
I'm dead.
Anyways, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful morning. Have a wonderful meal if you listen to us while you eat. And we'll see you next time.
Adios.
Yeah.